Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to yet another Throwback Thursday. Drinking some pretty classic Danish craft beer, really. I guess I'd call it classic by now because it's been like 10 years, I guess, since this was released for the first time. And it's in supermarkets now at like a crazy price. So this is from Tol, and this is their black malts and body salts. This was my top beer. I can't remember when it was. Was it 11? 10? It was on my top 10 list back in the day. And I adored it. I gave it a 95. And I saw this in the supermarket. And it was 15 crowns, which is like $2. And I was like, what? Okay, let's try and see how that is. And I'm guessing it was like a spot offer or something because they had a lot in stock or something. I'm not sure. They call it Black Malts and Body Salts 2.0. So I think it's an updated recipe compared to the original. But it's still the same ABV. And it's an Imperial Black IPA with coffee from Copy Roasters in Sweden. I think they're in Malmö. Right? I think so. They make great coffee, by the way. So, yeah, I mean, they say the alpha and omega, the darkness and the light. This beer is everything. A beautiful balance of hops, coffee, light, and dark malts for a truly well-rounded ale. But there's no mention of hops and what they use. From here, it smells like classic sea hops. So I'm guessing we got some Columbus or something like that in here. It's going to be fun to see. And since they call it 2.0, I don't know if they tried to do it more New Englandy or something. I mean, it's quite hazy pouring out. But yeah, we'll see how this is. Back in the day, I loved black IPAs, especially the true ones that weren't just hoppy stouts. But let's see how this is today. So pours, and I'm even using an OG glass. I use this all the time in reviews back in the day. This and the similar one with the Hill Farmstead logo. I can't remember the name of this glass. It's quite hard to get, actually, this type. The Dolly uses it as well, but I had one with Hill Farmstead that Jakob unfortunately broke. But yeah, this was like my go-to. I loved it, so I thought this would be fun to bring back for this video. But yeah, it's a pitch black color. I think there is quite a few floaties in there as well, so maybe I shouldn't have poured the yeast in, but we gotta have a nice head for the thumbnail. But yeah, it's a nice black color, roasty looking tan head. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, I mean, it smells pretty authentic to what I remember. It's got that classic sea hop Columbus Chinooki, like grapefruity, piney, slightly like earthy vibe. Oniony, and then there's a nice fresh breath of coffee. I remember the coffee being a bit more intense, but it's definitely there. It's a nice, fresh, vibrant coffee nuance, very nutty coffee. And then just lightly toasted malt. It's not like a stout. That's how black IPA should be. It should be just an IPA that's dyed black. Not like a hoppy stout. It smells pretty good. It's fairly fresh, too. I think this was bottled on the 1st of June, and we're like the first few days in August, so it's like around 2 months. I mean, for a supermarket beer, that's pretty good. Because usually supermarket beers are like 3, 4, 5 months. But yeah, there's a touch of chocolate. There's a touch of a caramelly note. It smells quite old school, but it smells nice. It smells like what I remember, but really old school. Like, there is no bright modern aromas, really. Maybe some orangey, sweet citrus, but it smells good. Let's try it. Cheers. Happy Throwback Thursday. Oh, man, it's bitter. Haha, yes. Oh, but it's really bitter. Woo! Ho, 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 ho. Wowzers. That is a throwback for you right there. So it's not as bright and not as balanced as something like Wookie Jack was, or Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous. It's a bit more heavy. And I think it's a bit more heavy than I remember, too. It has more of a roasty, blackened, like, charry malt profile. You, of course, can't help that in a beer like this, but there's definitely also oats in there, I think. It's got like a sweet oaty flavor, it's got a really big mouthfeel, too. Very lush and velvety. But it tastes like a beer that was made 10 years ago and how IPAs were made 10 years ago. With just a big focus on bitterness and classic sea hops like Cascade, Chinook, Centennial, all these old school American hops, Columbus. Because it's grapefruit, it's pine, it's resin, slightly earthy. It's got just like, compared to the original, I think it's, as far as I remember, that was quite orangey. This is more towards grapefruit and whatnot, and pine. It's also not dank or anything. It's just like really sticky hop flavors. And not that that's a bad thing at all, but I would just love a bit more brightness. The coffee is definitely there too, which works surprisingly great in this. It's like a really nice nutty coffee profile sitting in there, which is really, really lovely with the hops. It's got a lot of green hop, like almost hop matter type, just like green herb flavor. But a rating for this one, I mean, it's still really nice. I'm still gonna go straight 90. It's still a lovely black IPA with coffee. Really, really tasty stuff. They're doing some awesome stuff at Tool. I mean, they're spreading out everywhere. My local supermarket has a crap selection of craft beer, but then all of a sudden, now they have a whole shelf of Tool and a fridge stocked full of Tool. And you can get fairly fresh 45 days pills, which is amazing. The organic version for like 15 crowns. It's like, what the hell? Why would I ever buy any other like crap supermarket brands now that they're there, because their quality is like 10 times higher, and there's like New England IPAs, and there's like sour beers, and there's wit beer, and all kinds of stuff. Their selection of Toyota was pretty great. I mean, they're really trying to get into the supermarket, which is fun to see, because we don't have the same, say, luxury of supermarket selection as in like the UK, where Cloudwater and Track and Northern Monk and North Brewing Company and whatnot. Some of these breweries like make beers for the supermarket. They're not as crazy as their special releases, but they're really good beers for a good price, and they're much nicer to drink than some of the macros will. So it's pretty cool. We're living in a good time for craft beer. But yeah, straight 90 for this one. You know, it's not gonna hit any top 10s nowadays, but it's still a very nice beer. And if you love black IPAs, you should check this out. And just also to try and see how beers were like 10 years ago. They call it 2.0, but it tastes pretty old school to me. But yeah, if you guys had a chance to try the Tool Black Malts and Body Salts Imperial Black IPA with coffee, let me know what you thought of it. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers in this Throwback Thursday beer, and see you guys in another Throwback Thursday. Cheers.